Hello, welcome back to HLS Crypto. My name is Dan. Uh, there is a fly in the room, so if I start doing like interpretive dance, I'm just trying to get it out of the way of my face. It's quite annoying, actually. So this is about JASMY and KASPA. Long-term viewers of the channel will know that I'm a massive fan of KASPA. The KASPA community was superb. Like they really got me on board with it. Got a really good entry price and not the perfect entry price because there was far better ones prior to that, but a decent one nonetheless. And we'll talk about KASPA in just a little while. But also JASMY as well was something that I kind of really liked. Um, I was starting to get like a lot of people. I think they were kind of concerned that JASMY wasn't really going in the direction they wanted it to go in. They're talking about lockups and things like that, and we're hoping that that's still the case. If they still do manage to do a lockup, then maybe that'll impact price, and we'll look at that as well when we have a look at the price prediction. For those of you who are brand new to the channel who don't know about JASMY, don't know about KASPA, so JASMY is basically decentralized data. So rather than having your data just sold freely by all the big conglomerates like Google and people like that, you actually own your own data, and therefore you can choose and get and monetize your own data. Essentially, it's really interesting, good concept. This is their website. You can flick through and have a look at this yourselves. I'm not going to go through that today. There are videos on the channel if you want to go back and look at JASMY videos and look at KASPA videos. They are there. I saw this tweet as well a bit earlier. It says, I've seen a lot of new people to JASMY posting on Reddit and asking if it's too late to get into it. Below is the current pump captured in the all-time chart. When in doubt, zoom out, which I agree with to a certain extent, although I think that its actual all-time high is slightly misleading, and we'll talk about that just in a second. The chart right now, it's looking decent. This is the 24-hour chart, right? So it's a $2 billion market cap nearly. So it's getting expensive in that regard. 50 billion total supply. That they were talking about locking up to like 90% of that. If that's the case, the price will absolutely skyrocket. I have no doubt about that. But if you look at the 1 month chart, which I think gives it the best, a lot of people like we were talking about JASMY, 6, 7, 8 months ago. But if you look down here, in just May alone, you're picking it up for less than what, 2 cents, um, and it's jumped up enormously. And I think it's been JASMY's time. It's kind of awoken now. Again, we'll go through more about JASMY in the future, but I've got a nice bag of JASMY. It's not massive. I did actually get a lot of I had a big chunk of JASMY and I traded that into KASPA with a few other different bits and pieces. I think KASPA's definitely heading towards $1, which we'll talk about in just a little while. But for me, JASMY's a really interesting concept. I like it. One of the things that I think was a flaw to it is that people were I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I think a lot of people are guilty of it, describing it as the Bitcoin of Japan. It's not the case. It's not. That's not what it's all about. But I think that because the expectation was there, it's had a bit of a negative effect on it. If we look at its max chart, this looks horrific, right? But if we go a bit further down, so this is like it was almost on launch that it got where it got to. Its all-time high of $4.79. I think that's misleading. I wouldn't put all my eggs in that basket. I don't believe it'll return to $4.79 this bull run. If we look here, currently obviously a $2 billion market cap. I think one of its reasonable highs was 20 cents, which if you look at that, you're talking just under a 10 billion market cap. How high can JASMY go? The lockups are going to play a big part in this. If the lockups do happen, then you could probably quite easily conceivably see $1. 48 billion market cap though looks a little high. So I'd be gearing around the 0.20 cents to 40 cents, which is kind of like what, 892% up. Maybe you'll see 60 cents, which will give it a 14x. That's plausible, but I wouldn't be thinking that JASMY's going to take you to the moon. But I think it's a nice little solid investment to have within your portfolio, whether you're obviously not financial advice, but it's something that I keep a bag of, because I think that if you do see these lockups, we could see this really skyrocket. I think that'll make the big difference in how this works out. The founder, Hara, has been a lot more active on Twitter recently. I think that's really, really good as well. But obviously in the comments, let me know what you think about JASMY. Are you still holding it? Did you sell it? How are you feeling about that? On to KASPA. I absolutely love KASPA. I think it's a fantastic project. I think it's going to go to the moon. I really, really do. For those of you again who are not familiar with KASPA, it's fastest open source, decentralized, fully scalable layer one in the world. The world's first block DAG, which is important. A digital ledger enabling parallel blocks and instant transaction confirmation, built on a robust proof of work engine with rapid single-second block intervals, built by industry pioneers, led by the people. Again, feel free to have a look at the website, do a little bit of a deep dive yourselves. There are videos on the channel about KASPA. Quite a few actually, and in a lot more detail. I saw this, which I thought was interesting. It was at Dishi Shy. In the last few months, I found that I very much grew out of the digital silver. So obviously, people are saying that Bitcoin's gold, KASPA's the silver. The narrative for KASPA. It's just too far narrow for such a capacious network. KASPA is the ultimate layer one. It can be digital silver, but it can also be a token deployment platform, a sequence and settling layer, a DeFi platform, and so on. What's important about KASPA is that it can do all these things together. There's room for everyone. KASPA is the only viable route to retain the superior decentralization and security of proof of work while providing throughput and responsiveness comparable and after decay superior to proof of stake. That's its value proposition, not just digital silver. So proof of work obviously is key when it comes to KASPA. It's not proof of stake, which I think is interesting. If we have a little look at how KASPA's doing over the last 24 hours, it's starting to pump. If we look at it over the past month, you can see it's starting to get that incline. It's starting to go again. There's also KASPA memes coming up and popping up all over the place. There's a lot more involved with KASPA, but KASPA itself, it's got a max supply of 28 billion. Its all-time high is getting close now, getting very close. So it was 18.9 cents, and we're at 17.9, so it's like a cent away from going back to its all-time high. I think that's likely to happen in the next few days. I wish I'd have got it on May the 26th, 2022, when it was 0.00017. Now, for me, I made the prediction at the start of the year that I believe that KASPA will hit $1 in the year of 2024, and I still think that's absolutely achievable. I think that's what's going to happen. Its max chart is just phenomenal. If you look at that, you can see it's starting to peak up again. But people were telling me to buy KASPA like down here. I didn't do that, unfortunately. I think I got it around 4 cents. Yeah, so maybe around there. The video confirms that when I finally got it. It was like, I've finally done it. I've done it. I've given to the KASPA community, who are fantastic, by the way. Join their telegrams and things like that. Like, really, like, they are genuinely decent people. I think this has got massive potential. If we look here, the dollar would be only 466% away right now at $23.8 billion market cap. But not only do I think we'll see one, I think as we go into the bull run, we're more than likely going to see two, which is a 47 billion market cap at 10x. People are talking about maybe four. That's 95 billion market cap. I think we're maybe getting into the territory where you'd have to start thinking about getting out at $4, and finally $5 at 27 x $119 billion. I'm happy for KASPA to be between 1, 2, even 3 at 16x. I'd be more than happy with that. I would happily get out of KASPA then. But obviously, when the bear market hits again, then you're going to be wanting to pick this back up again, because I think this is going to be a long player. It's going to be a long term. It's basically another version of how Bitcoin will be, in terms of people will want it. Demand will always be there, in my opinion. For KASPA, I'm absolutely buzzing about KASPA. I really, really like it. If you look as well, RightStream is having a good pump today, 44.7% up. Again, there's videos on the channel on RightStream. There's also a video that we've done an interview with the founder of RightStream, which I think is really interesting. If you're interested in RightStream, go back and check that out. Also, if you are looking for an exchange and you don't currently have one, I've got an affiliate link in the description for MEXC. I know a lot of people are already probably have this, but if you don't have it, then feel free to check the link in the description. There is a link. So if you click that link, basically every time you trade, every time you buy cryptos, things like that, it kicks back to the channel. So it's one way to help the channel, and I do appreciate when you guys do that. But back to the video itself, where do you see KASPA? Do you see it going to $10 like some people are saying? Are you thinking 1 to 4, kind of like where I'm the range I'm at? Do you hold it still? I'm assuming you do. Have you sold any? I just think it's just such a fantastic project. I'm looking forward to the bull run just to see how high it actually does go. I'll probably be out before it gets to the top, because I always think that, get out when you can. Don't try and like hold for that extra 10x when you've already got like a 60, 70x. You don't want to be doing things like that. For me, it just gives you an opportunity to get wrecked, and I don't want anyone to get wrecked. Obviously, I think that'd be a dangerous thing to do. And you've put in 4 years of hard work. Maybe you've just joined now into the crypto space, but you've still got, maybe 15, 16 months, potentially 18 months before the all-time highs of the bull run, I think. But obviously be careful. This is not financial advice. It's just entertainment purposes only. Feel free to take what you want from this video, but also make sure you do your own deep dive, your own due diligence. Make sure you're happy with what you're purchasing in crypto. But I think KASPA is one of the absolute gems of the crypto space. Anyway, wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, have an amazing day, have an amazing evening. Please don't forget to like the video if you did enjoy it. Drop a comment below and subscribe. We're pushing then again now towards the 5,000 subscribe mark, which would be great. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye.